Welcome to Hey Clarity. I'm your host, Lindsay, and today we're doing a collective Akashic Records reading on the new moon in Cancer. The questions that we're going to ask are, what is the energy of this new moon? How can we best navigate this energy? What are the best intentions to set under this Cancer new moon? What story is unfolding between now and the corresponding full moon in Cancer on January 26, 2026? And what's the most important message we need to know? Let's get into it. What is the energy of the Cancer new moon? They're saying it's unfolding, it's happening, it's unraveling. We are seeing the unfolding. We are seeing the movement of something opening up and unraveling. They're saying pathway. It's progress. There's a progression. We're actually seeing the movement. It's almost like this carpet is being rolled out in front of us, this pathway right in front of us. So we're seeing movement. And it's like we're still like in front of it, like at the beginning of it, but we're seeing that there's movement. We're seeing that something is happening. And they're like, it's happening, exclamation point. So it's like anything that you wanted to have, they're saying accumulation. There's an accumulation. Oh, because there has been an accumulation, a momentum of energy towards something that maybe you were working towards or working on. It's almost like there was this buildup, like almost like, you're planning and your strategy and packing, like all these things. And it has enough substance. It has a solid foundation. There's enough that you've created for it, developed for it, etc. And it's almost like there's this pile and this momentum, and it's like ultimately like it now has almost like the weight and the solid foundation to then unravel, unfold, move forward. So it's like something that we've been building, creating for a long time. And it's also important to note that like we've done the heavy lifting. We've done the hard work on the front end for a long time. And so it's almost like the momentum has come from they're like lots of hard work, even like years of hard work on something. And this accumulation is allowing for it to have movement almost on its own. So if you've been building something or working hard towards something for a very long time, I'm getting like your efforts are finally like, it's happening. It's unfolding, it's unraveling. And it's interesting because it's like you like accumulate all this stuff to create this solid foundation of whatever you're building or creating. It's here. And then it unfolds, it unravels and kind of like opens up and shows all of this. Like look at all of this hard work, like all of your hard work, just like, again, unfolds in front of you. Anything else? What's the energy? It's interesting that they're choosing the word unraveling, because I feel like we can get caught up in like maybe that having like a negative connotation, something unraveling, and it's really not that. It's opening. It's opening, and it's unfolding before us. How can we best navigate this energy? How can we best navigate this unraveling, unfolding, it's happening energy? They're saying celebrate your wins. Like the first win, the second win, the third win, like as it's unfolding, as it's unraveling, as this pathway is being revealed in front of you, each one of these opportunities, they're saying expression, like there's like a finally it's here, this thing that I've been wanting to do, I get to do finally. And so they're like it's first baby steps, right? Maybe this is something that you didn't think would come to fruition or you didn't think would happen ever. You know, maybe you've been working on this for so long and you're like, are you kidding me? Like wanting to give up. They're like throwing in the towel like so many times, but you didn't give up. You kept, they're saying like, you keep moving towards it. You keep, nurturing and building this foundation and creating more for it so that it has this momentum and it has this traction to actually unfold now. So they want us to celebrate the wins, and they're like first baby steps, and it feels like, pressure, like not putting too much pressure on yourself. Um, they're like, this could be in so many different ways. This could pop up in so many different ways in our lives, but they're showing like a spotlight, like an opportunity for you or attention on you, or something comes up and it's like, take baby steps. And it's like, it's almost like the way the opportunities are being presented to you are in baby steps so that you can handle it, so that you're not feeling too pressured, so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you're not, because I'm getting like, it could be such a shock that like, oh, I've been doing this for so long and like, nothing was happening. So I was kind of giving up on it. And so I'm not mentally and emotionally prepared for like it to be successful. And so it's going to be successful. And it's like, to present it to you in a way that you can handle. It's being given to you first as baby steps. Like, do this little thing here and do this little thing there, and then it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're like biggest. So they've been saying dreams come true for a long time. And so we're starting to see the golden nuggets. We're starting to see the trail, of that, like along the pathway. They're just like, keep following those little golden nuggets, keep following those treats, keep following. It's like right in front of you. It's like, here's this gift, here's this blessing, here's this, here's that, here's that. And it's like, they keep saying first baby steps. Okay. And it might come in tiny doses because they don't, your spirit guides, everyone who's behind you to support you, nobody wants you to feel overwhelmed or like feel super pressured about anything, because they are very aware and they understand that perhaps this can be a little bit of a shock, or it can be very stunning, and you could get overwhelmed. So they're like, it's going to come in small doses, but they're like, take your doses and celebrate those wins. Like, make sure you're acknowledging your accomplishments and your achievements and the opportunities, and you're doing something special, for yourself, with friends, with family, like whoever you want to bring in to celebrate. They're just like, it's celebratory times on many levels. What are the best intentions to set under this new moon in Cancer? What are the best intentions to set? New bulbs. It's like not even seeds anymore. It's like they're saying bigger dreams come true. Like bigger dreams. Like, you may have had very small dreams or smaller dreams based on what you think is possible, but I'm getting like there's more, and like more wants to come through for you. More wants to come true for you. Trustworthy, they're saying. Trustworthy. Move forward. Like, keep moving forward. Like, this is such a time that's so rich for accomplishment and achievement. Can you explain a little bit more about that? Yeah, not right this moment, but it's in the horizon. It's like along the pathway down the line, but this is leading up to it. Like, it's not going to be just like this huge golden boulder in front of your face tomorrow. They're like, relax. It's going to come in little golden nuggets, and eventually that will build up into like some big pile of gold, is basically what they're saying, for example. Um, yeah, so they just want to be they want to be really careful that like you can handle it. Like you can handle it. This is nothing you can't handle. So the best intentions to set with these bulbs is just bigger dreams. They're like, you always, talk about seeds of intention, planting seeds, and they're like size up, sides up. Like as you are building, being creative problem solvers, like as you are, planning your futures and your dreams for your world, for this world, they want us to stop even recognizing our intentions as like size wise seeds. And they're like, let's go with bulbs, Um, they just want us to like think bigger, have bigger dreams. Because it seems like, yeah, we've kind of graduated from like seeds. And they're like, never to underestimate a seed. Never, ever, ever. The tiniest seeds become some of the largest trees. That's not what they're saying, but they want us to almost stop thinking of seeds as being this tiny thing. They're like, the magnitude is greater than you might expect. So it's almost around the phrasing, I think, is like, they're like, we're going to plant bulbs and you're going to have bigger dreams, But how about specific intentions? What specific intention should we be having? They're encouraging us to expand our horizons and like really think about like what's possible, because they're like, you may have had limited dreams before because you were being, they're saying, practical and frugal and based on reality. And they're just like showing kind of like reality just like reality is like moving through this like warp speed portal in a way where our concept of everything is almost being blasted. Like our reality is really going through this warp speed portal. I'm seeing it so clearly, like everything is just like flying by me, like whew. And this portal, once it like slows down, once we slow down moving through it, we're looking around at a whole new world. So they're like, your references, your historical events, like what you think is possible is based on a past paradigm that is no longer our reality. So like, you can't necessarily base your solid foundations on a reality that's almost disintegrating behind us. So it's like, holy shit, what's possible? Things are more possible. Like they're really, really encouraging us to like stretch and expand our imagination of just like, what could this world look like in our wildest dreams? What can we create for your life, for each other, for the entire planet? And they're like, and beyond, like, they're like extra consciousness, like extraordinary consciousness. It's like this bubble is about to burst around time and time management, and so much is possible in that space. And it's almost like playing with time in the new paradigm, because they're like, we're on these cycles depending on the industry you work for, depending on the calendar you're working with. They're like years and quarters and months and days and weeks and decades and centuries and lifetimes. And they're just like, again, this like reality of time, what if, like, I'm getting like, we're expanding our consciousness and awareness even around time, and like this big dream that you have and how long you think or expect that it might take for it to happen or come to fruition. I'm getting like these things you want to create. Think beyond your lifetime. Think legacies. think that you want to create something that someone else might, you're going to mentor, you're going to teach, you're going to hire, you're going to have employees. And it's like, how far can it go to support future generations? So it's like they want us to be thinking like, what are dreams coming true in 150 years? And they've been saying this in some of the group events we've done. They've been asking us to stretch our brains to think about, if we lived for 150 years, what do we want the world to look like? What do we want our life to be like? They want us to plan ahead like that. What are you building now that is relevant and important now? Yes, but also the foresight for future generations. What is the future going to need from us? What do we need to create and build for them for the future? Okay. So this is why our dreams need to be bigger. We need to be creating these new industries, new paradigm, new world, new concept of reality, of what's possible versus impossible. Not based on how we've been in our conditioning of what reality is. They're like, okay, and they're almost like erasing it. They're like that's kind of, we're in an explosion of that right now, because they're like forces, like these forces don't work. Like these old ways of being and living, they don't work. Like they don't satisfy us, they don't nurture us, they don't inspire us, they don't fuel us. Like we have to have this new paradigm, this new world. And your time management about the things that you're thinking of are gonna go like way beyond your years, way beyond your lifetime. So like, what seeds are you planting in that direction? And they're like 150 years. Like, dream bigger, because you might do a portion of it, while you can, and you might pass the torch for more people to take it beyond you. So they're like, don't underestimate these seeds, these bulbs, and these bigger dreams coming true in your lifetime and beyond. It matters. And they're saying it makes a difference. And we need to be dreaming up the future world, because we need to be focused on envisioning that. We need to see, what does the world look like in 150 years? What does it look like in 50 years? What are we seeing? What are we expecting it to be? How can we counter? They're saying counter effects. How can we create a counter effect from that? Like, what needs to be done to change, to have like a massive, bigger impact? What story is unfolding between this new moon in Cancer and the corresponding full moon in Cancer on January 26th, 2026? What story is unfolding? You might start to get clear about what this bigger dream is. Like, for your life, for the world. It's very purpose driven. It's very mission statement-y. Like, it's very like, they're like, how to be living. Like, how do we want to be living 10 years, 20, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, about years from now? How do we want to be? What world do we want to be living in? And I'm just getting like, you might be having like genius strikes, like just downloads. You might be having intuitive flashes and aha moments and downloads of like, what do you want to do now? What is this new mission statement? What is this new purpose that's driving you? What are you inspired by? What do you want to create? What are your legacies? And they're saying plural. They're like, you're very passionate people. Everyone is passionate about something, but usually multiple things. And so why not dedicate, some years and some decades to one particular thing, and then maybe another thing, or maybe simultaneously, whatever. They're just really encouraging us to, they're like, wishes come true, dreams come true. So like, really, like, what is that bulb you're planting? What is it? And it seems like it will become more clear between now and next year. And they're saying your current events are informing your decision making. these massive wake-up calls, these threats, wars, violence. They're showing crumbling governments. They're saying like dysfunctional people, even like they're like people development, like mental and emotional development of people. We're gonna see, we're seeing it all just kind of laid out on the table for us. Like, these are all the fucking problems, guys. This is what we're looking at. Like, this is what we're still dealing with. And then they're like counter effects, counter actions. You know, what needs to be implemented, planned, strategized long term for this to not continue, for this to get better. They're saying wealth and health and, you know, social, they're saying social development, society, civilization, in industry, family, our concepts of family and relationships. Like, pretty much everything is going to be spilling out in front of us. And each thing we're going to be seeing, we're going to be like, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. And then they're like, why? Why is it hell no? And then get into that why and use that why to plant those seeds for a better future and your bigger dreams. So they're kind of saying like everything you're going to witness in our current events and our global, they're saying aftermath, the destruction, the turmoil, the wars and the violence, we're going to be seeing so much hell no. But it is meant to inform what needs to be done in the future, for the future. So it's almost like while you're watching it, they're even saying, don't fret, right? If it's not a direct threat in front of your face, if you don't feel a calling to a place where there is destruction and violence, if you don't feel that heart-centered calling to be there and to show up and to help and support, your job, your mission is to look at what's unfolding, look at what's falling apart, look at all the pieces and say, I can be a part of doing something about that. I can be a part of doing something about that. And it could be personal, it could be professional, it could be both, everything. But you're gonna feel attached, attracted to, inspired by, pulled, called on. It's a calling. These wake-up calls are callings. And they're showing like a phone ringing from like God, you know, it's like ring, you're picking up the phone. Like when you get the call, you're going to pick up the phone. You're going to get these downloads, these intuitive hits, these flashes of inspiration of being like, this is what you're going to do. I'm getting chills on my legs. Your spirit, our spirit guides are behind this. Everybody's behind this. Your guides, the Akashic Records, your spiritual team, your connections, know who you are and what you're good at and what you deserve to be known for, your knowledge, your wisdom, your passion, the way you inspire people. And things are going to align in such a way, they're saying, thank God, you know, this alignment, thank God. And in these next several months, these next 6-ish months, they're like, it's a calling, it's a new mission statement. Like, this is going to become very clear, like what you want to be working on, your legacies. And part of it is, as you watch and witness these current events, again, if they are not directly affecting you, and if you do not feel this heart-centered soul calling to show up and support, save, whatever, wherever it is in the world, your job is to pay attention to the pieces and pick out where you fit and belong, what is aligning with you, what feels like a soul's calling of like, what do I want to create in this sector? What do I want to create here and here and here and here for the long term? So it's going to become more clear. We're going to be, you know, reconnecting with this idea of like purpose and feeling very purpose driven. And there is momentum. There will be momentum. So you will have confirmation through opportunities and options and people and places being presented to you. And it's like almost like welcomed, right? Very welcomed and overdue, right? So it's going to come like almost bite-sized so that you're not overwhelmed. And you're just going to keep following those golden nuggets. Cool. Okay. What's the most important message we need to know about the Cancer new moon? Wow, they just said it's very serious. As if you couldn't tell how passionate they had me when I said that. They're saying it's very serious. This is very serious. Which could be, they're like a wake-up call, which could be that we see very scary, tumultuous times in these next 6 months. Okay? But they want us to focus on what our plan and our strategy is long term. What are we going to do about it? So they're saying get resourced, get the tools for your mental and emotional health and stability, take care of your physical well-being. They're saying eat well. They're saying exercise, movement. They're saying you're being presented with quality people, with good people in your life. They're like, grab them, hold on to them, hold really close to those people. They're like, dear people, dear people. You're being presented with people to help you nurture and support this processing, this time, this progression, this unfolding. So people, physical body people are being presented to you, including like your spirit guides are getting louder, and you might feel called to work in the Akashic Records. There are so many things that are here, your resources, your tools, your spiritual connections. All of this is coming to you to support you through this. And they're saying it's very serious. So they're saying wars and violence. If this shit keeps getting realer and realer, if it keeps getting messier and messier, we are seeing the crumbling, the collapse, the destruction, the disintegration of this old paradigm. And we are making an assessment, picking up through the rubble, what's worth saving and what is good riddance, glad it's over, glad it's gone. And use your creative problem solving, your heart-centered mission, the soul's calling, like that feeling. Again, it's heart-centered, the work that you want to do in the future. They're like, it's made with so much love for the planet, for Earth, for the animals, for people, for humanity. They're just saying it gets very serious. And our job is to see through the bullshit, see through the mess, see through the rubble, see through the drama and the trauma, and focus on what needs to be done. They're like, can you get centered in those moments of chaos? Get centered. And some of us really, come into our own in crisis. Some of us get really clear and focused, and we're direct, and we're just almost like they're saying superhuman. You become superheroes in crisis. There are some people who click in that moment, and they're like, that's your moment, right? So like when these things are happening, you might click in and be like, okay, I see through the bullshit. Okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. And some people are going to fall apart. They're like, many people are falling apart now, and they're going to continue to fall apart. But we need people who have these laser eyes. They're like the seers, the people who have foresight, the future seers. Like, we need you all to see through the bullshit and get very clear and have a very clear vision. So your job is, because you are able to detach, maybe dissociate. They're like healthy dissociation. Like sometimes this is a thing, like it's healthy sometimes. Your hypervigilance, like all of these things that may have come from our wounds, from our trauma, they have a purpose. They mean something. They have a function in our lives during crisis. If you were able to show up in a traumatic event, clear and focused, that wound was worthwhile. That wound was worth something. That trauma was worth something. If you're able to be the hero in a moment, if you're able to be the voice of reason, if you're able to see something that nobody else can see in that moment, that wound was worthwhile, that trauma was worthwhile. And they're kind of saying that, like, for a lot of us, like our past lives and like things that happened, early in our lives and things that we've been wounded or had traumatic experiences with, it's almost like an accumulation to this point, to this moment, that was meant to condition you and prepare you to be able to have clear sight, clear vision, see through the bullshit, have foresight, prepare for this. It gets very serious time. Okay? Okay. I want to stop there. I feel like that's a lot to take in. Yeah, anything else? Just what, last. Nope, that's it. Okay, they want to end on that. Good. Okay, so that was the Akashic Records on the new moon in Cancer. I hope you enjoyed that. Take your time digesting that. It feels more exciting, and I feel like, yeah, the lens they want us to take is the problem solving, the creative problem solving, detached lens. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next time.